Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for taking a few moments of your precious time today to spend a few minutes with us. We appreciate it. My name is Dave Taylor. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer here at Impartner. I feel very fortunate to be joined today by Theresa, the CEO and founder of AchieveUnite. AchieveUnite is a company that was built on the premise of helping people start, perfect, and accelerate their channel sales. Theresa started the company based on experience that she had had in global channel chief roles at companies like Extreme Networks and Sienna. Theresa was fortunate to manage both sales and marketing, which really I think is kind of the key to building a better channel. And so we're thrilled to have you here with us today, Theresa. Thanks for your time.
Oh, thanks, Dave. I'm thrilled to be here with you today. It's sure an exciting time in the industry, isn't it?
It is indeed. And just so that people have the background, I want everyone to understand we've worked with AchieveUnite in a variety of different roles. We bring you in to help consult with customers that we've engaged with that have questions about what are the right first steps to take. We've done mutual content creation in the past where we've put out, in my opinion, one of our finer eBooks was done in conjunction with Theresa's team at AchieveUnite. That's the ultimate field guide to starting your channel. And, gosh, Theresa, how long has it been since we did that? A year and a half, 2 years now since we did that?
I think that's over 2 years, yes. And it's
Over
still
two
very
years.
relevant today.
Over,
That content is very
not
relevant.
only relevant, but the ebook itself still stays in really high rotation in our content calendar. And so really good content. And I think it deals with a question that so many of our customers have. Things like, when is the right time to start my channel? What are the right first steps to take? Those first few critical steps can be so important and so formative. And so what we've done today as part of Impartner's Build a Better Channel series is Theresa's team has done some fantastic work in creating content around some of the key differentiators in SaaS companies, what you really need to have. So we'll give you a little bit of background on Impartner. I'll tell you a little bit about our company, and then I'm excited to hand that over. So for those of you not as familiar with Impartner, we are the pure play global leader in the PRM space, PRM, partner relationship management, very similar in concept to CRM, customer relationship management. But whereas CRM is targeted at a one-to-one relationship, I'm a company, you're my customer, I have a relationship with you through this tool. PRM systems, by definition, are architected to handle the complexities of a multi-tiered distribution model. A situation where a channel partner or a go-to-market partner, an agent, a broker, a reseller, a distributor, whatever you call them, may in one opportunity be a referral partner, in another opportunity a service provider partner, in another opportunity they may close the business on their paper. And so, the roles change so much. PRM really, I think, has a very, very bright future. And I think one of the reasons is it helps manage all of that complexity. Impartner and AchieveUnite, along with us, have been privileged to work with some of the leading companies in the world, companies like Xerox, like Zendesk, Splunk, Fortinet. It's hard to overplay the value that Impartner as a company gets from the engagement with its customers. The expertise that we feel like we've developed over the years has come primarily from the engagements that we've had with companies like Sienna and 8x8 and others that we've engaged with and learned from. So we feel very pedigreed. We feel like we've got a lot of experience in this space. And so that's where we come from. As I was saying, in today's go-to-market model, models are so complex, so twisty-turny. Companies change from one opportunity to the next. The role that they play in that transaction can change. I think, Theresa, that's probably nowhere more true than it is in the SaaS space. When cloud is your primary go-to-market mechanism, what defines a channel is increasingly complex. Do you agree?
I absolutely agree. And we're asserting today that channel is a strategic imperative to virtually every SaaS company.
Yeah, and so the document that has been prepared, this ebook, and at the end of the presentation today, we'll give you information on where to find it. It's on Impartner's website. It's on the AchieveUnite website. But Theresa will run through some of the content with you right now, and really it's the concept of these three things. 5 things that make it important, 5 things that make it different, and 5 things that you should do. And so, no further ado, let's hand it over to Theresa Caragol.
Oh, thank you, Dave. I really appreciate it. And I love the title, The 555, Why a Channel is Critical to Your SaaS Company. So first, let's talk about the market opportunity, right? The SaaS revenue will top $87.2 billion in 2019. SaaS companies funded by venture capitals are looking for 40+% annual growth rates. SaaS applications are pervasive and proliferating every aspect of our lives. And 50 to 60% of the purchasing decisions in SaaS happen before a company ever engages the vendor. So it's so important that these emerging new SaaS companies get to market fast and get to market wide. So in a direct to paid subscription model, Dave, where do you think the channel fits in this?
I think the channel fits at the first, in the middle, and at the end.
Let me see if you're right. That's exactly right. It fits everywhere. In the paid subscription model, the channel fits everywhere. And that's what we're going to talk about today. The 555 story. Why is a channel critical to your company? 5 reasons it's a go-to-market must, 5 ways it's different, and 5 things you have to do to stay ahead. Okay, so let's look first at the 5 reasons it's a must for a company. If you think about partners and a rich, robust partner ecosystem, what does it do for a SaaS company? Well, first, it amplifies the growth. It allows partners, it allows a vendor or a carrier or any kind of a SaaS company to find other communities, to look at new ways to grow, and to attract buyers that it otherwise might not get access to. If we believe 60% of buying happens online before we ever talk to the vendor, we have to have ways to influence our potential buyers way earlier. So we have to go where they go, which is one of the reasons we want partners. The third reason we need partners in a SaaS go-to-market model is because they fill product gaps and they enable a solution sell. Most customers today are looking for a business outcome. They're looking for an ROI and a whole solution to a business problem. Most SaaS companies today have a pointed product and that requires multiple solutions to come together for that business problem to be solved. This is one of the gaps. Think about it like a bridge, right? This is what partners can do. They can provide that bridge to reach those end customers. The fourth reason is that they drive increased value for the solution. If the average number of cloud apps used by an enterprise is over 1,000, a partner can take a software application. I'll give you an example of a partner today. They actually acquired a software development company so that they could take a standardized software from one of their big partners and they could customize that software for every single industry vertical, like utilities, like small business, like financial services. So these partners can take a pointed product solution and wrap a whole value sale around it. And if a SaaS company doesn't get that exposure early on, they miss that opportunity. So if you look at Mary Meeker's Internet Trends Report for 2017, look at the number of cloud apps used by these industries. 907 in healthcare, 1,206 on average in a retail or a restaurant or a hospitality. Look at the different buyers who are acquiring the technology. It's not the CIOs anymore, right? Look at the different folks who are acquiring and getting that technology and making that buying decision.
it sounds like the point, it sounds like some of what you're saying is, I mean, I see how SaaS and cloud offer such unique capabilities in terms of functionality delivery. The value delivery through the cloud is just an incredibly powerful value proposition. How you get how you get that solution delivered to you. But all of the work and effort that surrounds that value delivery, all of the pre-work in tool selection, all of the implementation, this feels fairly traditional to me. It feels like there's maybe more similar than there is more different in that SaaS model. In fact, if anything, it sounds like channel plays almost more of a critical role because some of the traditional pieces have been taken out of the equation, but it has a lot of similarity with kind of a traditional, enterprise client server type architected solution. But am I reading you right on that?
Well, I think you're right? There are a lot of similarities to the traditional channel, but there's some significant differences that we're going to talk about in a few minutes that make the ingredients different, right? The result is the same, the revenue growth, but the how we get there is going to be different.
Good. Okay, good. I'm excited.
So I would say it's a 50-50, right? Some similarities and some very distinct differences.
Cool.
So the last reason, and this is a big one for SaaS companies, is partners validate a solution, right? And it may be, I think of one of our clients, Prove, a SaaS company who has a proof of concept as a service, actually also a client of yours, Dave, and they are taking to market this proof of concept as a service, but they're a brand out of Israel. So one of their ways to reach the market is partnering with big consultants and system integrators who have incredible brands who actually take this solution and white label it and bring it into the market. So it becomes an offering for that system integrator or that consultant. So we see these business models changing dramatically with SaaS companies when we effectively leverage the channel right from the start. All right, so let's talk about that now. What's different and what's the same? So the model is different, right? And the model is different because we have often affiliate programs. We might have one-time referral models, right? And you're a great example of that, Dave. Several of your partners are in a referral model, not a resale model. And some of your most strategic partners, right, Dave?
Absolutely. In fact, some of the partners that are on this call with me right now, and really that to me, the complexities that brings into the go-to-market process is really one of the key reasons that PRM exists to begin with, because how do we work with AchieveUnite as a referral partner, as a post-sales consultant partner, as a solution provider partner? It changes almost on a deal-by-deal basis, and you need a tool flexible enough to be able to handle that. So you're absolutely right.
So that's a big part of it, right? Because the referral programs, there's a big trend towards even referral programs that have life of the customer recurring revenue payments given to that partner. Joint marketing with that partner becomes a big benefit, even more than in some of the traditional world. There are technology partner programs, right? I might have technology partners who are building applications, connectors, doing the custom development that I mentioned earlier, maybe putting me in a marketplace. There's a number of different technology partner programs. And I might have 3 partners in one opportunity, and I have to as a SaaS company, I have to figure out compensation models to reward each one of those partners and still keep my margins at the level. And so that's what we help you sort through as you do this right.
Yeah.
But this is not grandma's apple pie, right? This is a new recipe. The ingredients are different. Again, the results are the same, but the recipe is different. So the last point around the model is we also need to organize and optimize the teams in the SaaS channel, because you have to get a very concrete set of the right expertise. It needs to be centralized in the organization. It can't be spread like peanut butter across different functions, or it doesn't get any critical mass. So there's a lot of nuances as you go to do this that you have to do it right. The second one is the marketing. The marketing is different. right? And look at the work you do, Dave, and the work your teams do. Building a relationship online and through demand generation is very different than a one-to-one sales engagement. And if we know 50 to 60% of the sale is done before they ever talk to the SaaS vendor, we've got to have this online virtual relationship really humming. And by the way, we can't put that in competition with our channel, or we're going to defeat the purpose of the channel. So there's a lot of complexities that we have to figure out here. And so we need to help create a great customer experience, great social experience without a one-to-one touch oftentimes. So you can see that this is a different model than maybe a traditional hardware channel, right? These are the places where it is very different. We call it, we have some incredible work that we do with clients. We call it a black art and a black science on how we understand exactly what is effective and what is recruiting clients to them and what is recruiting partners to them. So there's a number of techniques that we use to help figure out what the right recipe is for these SaaS companies to reach the partners.
So if you're making the point that there really are some differences, is it more in the technology stack? Is it a tool difference? Is it a people and a people skill difference? Is it a process and emotion, that's so different? I mean, really, what's the primary difference? What do people need to focus on the most?
So yes, yes, and yes.
Gotcha.
And let me add the fourth one. The fourth one is the partners fit throughout the whole process, and multiple partners may be in that customer in different elements of that process. And that's a very natural sales motion. And you don't often see that in some of the more traditional channel ecosystems.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So you're exactly right. So here's the new marketing and sales funnel. This is how we see what marketing was and what marketing is today in the SaaS world, and why the marketing piece and the partnering piece they have to be in sync, they have to be unified, they have to be integrated. What we often see is they're piecemealed in one or the other, marketing and partner, or potentially they're in competition with one another. So we have to be very careful in how we do this and how we architect our partner strategy as a SaaS company. Good. And the tools are different. So we've now talked about the model, the business models. We've talked about the marketing is different. We've talked about the sales motions being different, right? Sales organizations have to change and the tools have to change. So a little more on sales. The sales organizations have to change because guess what? There's different metrics that we're using to measure our sales effectiveness. There's much, much more integration that's required between sales and marketing. Some of the best SaaS companies, I see a chief sales officer and a chief marketing officer, and they're either tied at the hip or it might be a CSMO, right? A chief revenue officer who owns sales and marketing. So we're seeing the organization shift because these two roles have to be so integrated.
Yeah, the days of kind of separate marketing and separate sales organizations are so long gone. Without a 90% overlap between the demand gen and the demand fulfillment, it's really tough to succeed in today's world. So I totally agree. That's great.
You guys are a great example of that. You're very integrated. And so number 4 is the tools. The tools are different. And what we mean by that is the end user tools are changing in a SaaS world, right? It's about technology stacks. It's about automating processes. You think about the Prove story earlier today, StackShare, these companies that are disrupting a standard business process, a standard way, Uber, right? They are completely disrupting the way business was done. And so then we have to rethink how we support those. And look, the partner tools are changing. PRMs and content and marketing automation systems, they're more critical than ever. You have to have the right partner technology stack in order to build these channels, and it has to be very flexible, and it has to be integrated in your business processes and your CRMs and your way you do business, or you end up later trying to retrofit and not being able to get your channel the growth it needs. So it has to start at the beginning.
It's been interesting, Teresa, in the few years that we've been working together, the shift that we've seen from, 3 or 4 years ago, most of the dialogue that we had with prospective customers was educational in nature. Let us tell you a little bit about PRM and what it offers. Today, really, people get it. And the dialogue is they come to us and say, hey, I've got to have a tool and it's got to do these 5 things. Do you do them? And so it's been really rewarding for us to see the market really catch up with a bang in the understanding of how enabling channel tech can be to a business. In the same way that sales tech stacks and marketing tech stacks really dominated, over the last couple of decades, today that same recognition has arrived that a channel tech stack, when played well, can be an absolute differentiator for your business.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And I would say it's a strategic imperative from the start when building a channel.
Yeah.
So the automation strategy is critical. So, okay, let's talk about the gotchas. And this is a little bit about what's not different, right? So the partner conflict, that remains the same, right? Very strong rules of engagement, very strong collaborative sellers and collaborative marketing processes and rules. All of those things are the same, but the compensation models have changed. Who gets paid? Who gets credit? How do you build multiple payment structures so you don't put partners in competition with one another or sales teams in competition with partners? So you have to be very careful in how you architect those in a SaaS company and in a SaaS business model. You've got to get good billing systems from the start. Very, very important. There's a huge value that can get created in billing for the partners, for the customers in the SaaS world. So you got to architect that right first time. The support models are different, right? We see support and services. We see SaaS companies who they might have a channel that they don't pay any compensation to, but they have a really, really rich services drag, a 5 or a 10-to-1 services drag on a SaaS product solution that gets sold by a digital agency. And so therefore, they've got a really rich partner ecosystem. So getting those recipes right by type of partner is very important. And then last, the product, the marketing, the sales. These organizations, which is finance, legal, which are historically sometimes siloed in traditional software, traditional hardware companies, or even traditional carriers for that matter. In a SaaS company, they are so interdependent that collaboration at the executive level and at the operational level of these companies are critical to making their channel work later. So we really help in how do you do that right first time.
In fact, I would bet, and I'm winging it here, so tell me if I'm wrong, but
Okay.
I would bet that so AchieveUnite runs a great channel acceleration boot camp, a really good consulting. I would bet that a lot of the work you do with companies in that boot camp process has to do really with aligning those practices so that they're all kind of pulling in the same direction. Is that a lot of what you do?
Well, that's exactly right. We do consulting engagements and strategy help with our clients, but oftentimes one of the reasons we launched the boot camp is we had so many SaaS companies that have to move fast and they may not be able to afford, an engagement. So we're going to help them with the expertise and a peer group to learn from and set them off, right? And help them do these things exactly right first time.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. All right, one of the things we take a lot of pride on in this Build a Better Channel series that we do is we want our listeners to walk away with some very, very specific, very pragmatic, here are things I have to do. So let's hear what your 5 things are that you think people must do to stay ahead.
Okay, so now let's talk about the 5 things we have to do to stay ahead. So we're going to take our rose-colored glasses from the past. We're going to put them in the drawer. We're going to keep them, right? We're going to hold on to them because we never want to lose that knowledge. But we're going to change what we think because we can't believe that everything we thought to be true continues to be true. This is one of my biggest learnings in the SaaS world. We've got a whole set of new partners in the SaaS world that we didn't even know existed in some traditional software or hardware worlds or carrier worlds. So we've got, digital agencies and accountants, and we've got these new types of companies who integrate technology. And we have to help them make money in their business models. And by the way, we got to go find them because they don't hang out at channel events and traditional tech events. They hang out at developer conferences. They hang out at digital agency and social media conferences. So we've got to go where they are to find them, right? And I would encourage as you create DNAs in your SaaS organization, you create DNAs of cultures of creativity, cultures of innovation, cultures of collaboration, because those ingredients will get you rich results later that will help you stay ahead of competition. So we really need to forget about the past. We really have to look at these new types of partners. We've got to go where they are and go where they gather. You think about marketplaces. We have a really interesting client who is building a marketplace, and you would consider them a solution provider or a system integrator, and they're building a marketplace that other SaaS companies and hardware companies are using. So lots of new types of business models going on here, lots of disruption. And one of my favorite things of these 5 things you do is embrace and empower your millennials. They have spending power of over 200 billion. They have annual income of over 4 trillion by 2030. They make 50% of the SaaS IT decisions today and over the next 2 years. You've got to skate to where the puck is going, and you've got to build a culture that embraces and ignites the passion and how they like to work. So this is really important. Number 4 is you have to aggressively automate your technology stacks. We've talked about billing. We've talked about PRMs. We've talked about the channel stack. We've talked about your customer relationship management stack. So these business process stacks need to get automated from the start. And you can see multiple ways that you develop solution stacks by vertical. You might develop it by application and data. You put multiple great vendors together who can bring a new and unique solution to a customer. And industry selling is also very, very important here. And last, you do it or lose it. Most SaaS companies have an 18 to 24-month window to gain and grow revenue fast. This is one of the other reasons we launched Channel Acceleration Bootcamp, is we don't have the luxury of time. So we need to learn these things, figure out how to do them, and grow quick with revenue. We need to instill cultures of creativity, cultures of collaboration. I don't know if you know, Dave, but cultures that have high innovation, high collaboration, and high creativity are almost 50 to 60% more profitable in the long run. There's been many studies done about this direct correlation. They're also much faster in their ability to launch new products and new software when they have these cultures in the companies.
I like that. That's great.
So these are the 5 things. Forget about the past, put the rose-colored glasses in the drawer, but hold on to them and embrace new ways. Find these new types of partners and really look at what the business model is to attract and keep those partners. Empower and embrace the millennials and the younger generation. Aggressively automate these tech stacks, these business processes right from the start, and do channel quick and build a partner ecosystem right first time as early as possible in the SaaS company.
Well, so it's interesting. You said do channel quick, get it right from the start. And the thing I like about that is, I feel like your organization has expertise that you bring to the table for people who are taking step 1 and people that are taking step 100.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the thing that we like about that is it resonates so strongly with the way our business runs, where we'll have people who have, our channel program has been running for a decade. We have 10,000 channel partners. What we're looking for is a way to get a little more revenue out of each one of our partners, or be a little bit more efficient with each one of our partner engagements, et cetera. But on the other side of the teeter-totter, there's people who say, hey, we're just now starting out in this process. Yeah, I personally have had prospective customers say to me, we love your tool, we love your solution. It may be a little early for us because we're just now starting to recruit our partners. And to that, we say, why build your channel wrong and then bring in a tool to go fix all those problems? I mean, why not start with a channel acceleration bootcamp? Why not start with a PRM tool so that you know that the target, the target persona that you're going after to fill your partner seats is the right one for your business? And the people that you bring in, you remember the famous Groucho Marx quote when he resigned from the social club. He said, I wouldn't want to belong to a social club that would stoop low enough to have me as a member, right? I mean, why should you be satisfied with a partner that would merely agree to be in your program? I mean, why not be more directed in who you recruit? Go after the best of the best. Steal them away from your competitors, right? Get the best people on board. And so when we talk to our prospective customers about when's the right time to bring on a PRM tool, really, there's no wrong time. Very few partners early in the program. This is critical. Let's get it right now. Even if your program's been running for a couple of years and you only have 5 partners, that means each one of them generates, by definition, 20% of your channel revenues. Can you afford to lose one of those? No, you can't. What about once you hit 5,000 partners? Hey, there's never a better time to have a tool that automates a lot of this. So we don't think that there's a wrong time to start. And on the next slide, I'll show you that we do have this good kind of crawl, walk, run perspective where we can say to people, look, if you're just starting off, read the ebook on, the ultimate field guide to starting your channel, get the core product PRM tool in place, and start doing that recruiting and that onboarding. You can still 6 months, 12 months, 2 years from now, you can still layer on top of that a module for training certification, a module for business planning, et cetera. So we are architected to really give you that ability to start slow and ramp and grow, as necessary. So that crawl, walk, run is really the right approach.
It's really the right approach. And some of these pieces you would need earlier, depending on the SaaS company, depending on the solution they're taking to market, depending on the partner types, right? And so that's a lot of what we need to help figure out right first time when you go to deploy any of these automation stacks.
No, absolutely right, Theresa. So for example, on the top right of this slide, you see that partner locator. Traditionally, the partner locator, 3-5 years ago, was a mat full of little push pins for where your partners are physically located. The way we think about partner locators matches the SaaS model a lot more clearly because we give you the ability to select the type of partner you're looking for. Look, I'm an end user. I'm ready to buy some solution, but I need a partner to help me fill out an RFP, or I need a partner to help consult with me on what I'm looking for. And so you can filter that based on the role that you're looking for a partner to fill in that process. So that maps really nicely to SaaS.
Yep, I think that's a great example.
All right, let's roll on. I do want to share some data. We did some research. This is about a year old, maybe a little more than a year, where we asked our entire customer base to give us their anonymous feedback. And the question that we asked them was, in your own estimation, what impact has the Impartner PRM solution had on your channel revenues? And we found on average a 31% revenue increase in that first year of using our tool. So to me, what that says is, if you're looking for a way to drop some jet fuel down the carburetor barrel of your channel, this is a great way to do it. A tool like this that brings process and discipline and definition to the way your leads flow out to your channel and the way you follow up with your channel and the way you engage with your channel. This is a great tool for accelerating that revenue. The nice thing about it is it comes coupled with a 23% reduction in time and administrative costs for managing that channel. So Theresa, one of your tips is, getting your tool set right so that you can automate processes that can be automated. You absolutely have to automate them. Using a tool like this to automate a lot of that really time-intensive process of engaging with dozens, hundreds, or thousands of channel partners, you get the benefit of that time savings and the revenue bump. It comes down to how can you drive engagement with your partner organizations. And early on in the presentation, I showed you a slide that had a lot of customers' logos on it. I just don't want anybody listening to this to be put off by the fact that we may be full, because we have plenty of room for more customer logos on that slide. We're always looking for volunteers that are willing to generate some incremental channel revenues. So that really is.
One thing, Dave, this partner engagement piece, I would like SaaS companies to think about how they can leverage the PRM coupled with very innovative programs, right? From a marketing, from an enablement, from a cloud readiness, things like that coupled with the PRM will elevate that engagement. And the magic of those two is where the real power exists.
Yeah, no, absolutely. In fact, it's interesting when the very first dialogue that we have with prospective customers, sometimes it is we're looking for a way to drive channel revenue. But usually the question that they ask is, how do I get my partner community more engaged with what we do? Because they have already that kind of intuitive understanding that engagement equals revenue. So absolutely.
Yeah, we have a number of programs that we do that couple automation with engagement, right? And really creative ways that drive adoption. So, I think that's another arena for us to look at for the next ebook.
Yep, next time. Good. So we're excited for people to read this ebook. You can get it off the Impartner.com website, Impartner.com/555. It's on the AchieveUnite.com website as well. We encourage people to download it, read through it, process it. We also would encourage people to sign up for the Channel Acceleration Bootcamp. We've seen results generated from companies that engage with Theresa's awesome team around how to get that acceleration up and running for them. Or come straight to Impartner.com/demo and sign up to have a demo of our award-winning partner relationship management solution. We're happy to help out in any way we can.
And we have a special offer if you come to us from the Impartner 555 ebook. You get $100 off your registration for the bootcamp. So join the bootcamp, and I look forward to working with you all in the future.
Great. Theresa, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for the thought and effort that your team put into creating this content. We know this will be valuable to our customers. They got a lot of value out of the Ultimate Field Guide, and I think this one, the 555 ebook, I think is going to be very powerful as well. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate everybody logging in and listening to us today, and we wish you all the best.
Thanks, Dave. We appreciate it.